All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into some TA. All right, guys, we're hitting it with the early update today because I don't think much is going to change, and the ideas that I'm going to talk about in this video are not going to change with whatever we get on this close. They aren't going away. All right, first things first, I'm going to point out SPY over here coming into the daily 9 and that uptrend. QQQ coming into that daily 9. IWM already passed the daily 9. DIA coming into that daily 9. VIX coming into that daily 9. Guys, there's one way this normally goes for us, and I think we are going to be probably getting a bounce into end of day. I think we're going to be bouncing off these daily 9s, considering everything is hitting it all at once. But we are going to talk about some reasons to be cautious. Okay, so the first thing, I am actually going to start over here on Mr. VIX. First things first, if we get a daily close above this daily 9 EMA right here, I think it is in our best interest to proceed with caution on the long side, at least until we see it get back underneath. All right, I am just saying, naturally, normally we're gonna see with the setup we have right now. I'm talking, with all the 5 indexes. I know, technically VIX is an index. All right, so with all the 5 indexes doing this, we are probably gonna see the 4 major indices bounce there, and we're probably gonna see VIX get rejected here. Now, on the 15-minute time frame on Mr. VIX, we do have this 15-minute bearish divergence, so that is also something to point out over here. That is on your RSI, and I'm not saying this thing isn't going to get burned or anything. The VIX kind of looks like it could heat up here. That's why I say, like, hey, if you get the daily close above, we're going to proceed with caution here. Okay. But when all of these look like this, like SPY is at a massive make or break moment here, like an area right here, and it's pretty perfect here with the coming into the golden pockets. We broke down under that one morning. That told us we were probably going to be coming down here. If we're coming down here, we're probably going to come visit 580.73. That is the level that I was paying attention to. We are currently seeing buyers step in right there. That is right on the uptrend in the golden pocket and at your support. So, and keep in mind, like I just pointed out at the very start of the video, daily 9 EMA is right here. So, like this is ideally the spot for buyers to start stepping in. I'm not saying they are going to step in, but it is something I'm going to, throw the idea out there. This is a major confluence spot, and I don't think we should ignore it. So that is what I'm coming at you guys with today. Is SPY mainly is at this major confluence spot, and it either holds here or it doesn't. All right, you break under 580, ladies and gents, we're probably revisiting 574.71, and we could be starting a larger pullback. Like I understand sometimes it seems like a perma bull, but at the end of the day, I definitely will just follow price action as it comes. And hey, we talked about this exact spot right here in the weekly update, and now we are hitting that spot. This is where, we're expected buyers, but if they don't show up, they don't show up. And then we have, an early signal for maybe there is a lot more blood to come, and we need to be ready for that. All right. Now, we mentioned in the weekly update that we had a neutral close over here on SPY, and then also QQ. We had that neutral close last week. It wasn't bullish. It wasn't bearish. If we pull back into this area over here, all right, specifically this spot right here, that was where we broke out from. You had an ugly double bottom. This is where we broke out from. You technically already retested it, so I don't really want to see it retested again. But at the end of the day, you got the weekly 9 right here. We already know buyers are sitting there. We're probably going to see buyers step in there. So that is something that we can be ready for. So I'm bullish on this pullback. But we definitely pointed out that it was possible going into this week, considering we had that neutral close. And I didn't really have, too much certainty going into this week. I don't know where we're going to go this week. I'm just going to roll with the punches here. Okay. So, that's really like the main gist of why I'm making this video so early right now, is because we are at the perfect spot to be bouncing. And, I think this should be respected. So it's a make or break moment. I don't have anything else to say over here on SPY's, chart over here other than break underneath 580. We're coming to 578.70, and we're probably going to break under that and come straight to 574.71. Behold it. Probably going to at least test 582.30. We're going to have to see what happens there. You got this 15-minute 9 EMA. It's going to catch up with price right there. We get to see, are seller's going to step in on this break and retest here. We broke underneath this floor here. It's very clearly, you know, respect level. You got one touch point. You got a whole bunch of them here. You got a whole bunch of them here. 1, 2. All right. And now we got a 3. Are we going to respect if we come back into it? Probably. All right. So, you know, to be in the clear here for like, hey, things are, you know, they could be all fine and dandy moving forward. Get above 582.30. Okay, you get above 582.30 and you clear that 15-minute 9 EMA, we're probably going to start marching our butt back up. Okay, because again, I just point out, this is the perfect confluence spot. There's no denying it. You have like 4 areas of confluence. You also have the 15-minute RSI being oversold right here. Is it not a perfect time to record a video? Like, it's a make or break spot. All right. I understand some people don't want to get the early videos. Oh, you wait for the price action to develop. Guys, I'm calling the price action before it happens. Who cares? Okay. Just listen. So get above 582.30. We're probably going to, you know, test this golden pocket up there. That would be 583.50 to 584.35, we'll call it. All right. Above there, you have 585.25 and then 586.12. Now, moving over here to QQQ, I am going to point out, all right, you're also coming into a key spot. All right, so get above 493.30. We're going to have this golden pocket here, which, you know, I'm just going to come over here to NQ. I actually avoided trading NQ today. I am in YM instead. That is going to be what I think is going to be my one nice. I mean, I took some scalps, but, you know, I'm not going to say I made much off of that. I'm looking for one nice clean trade on the day, and I'll actually just show you the setup right here. I got my alerts, so if we get that alert, all right, we got to exit that. But like also, it is what it is. I took it right over here at the 0.61 fib. I'm not gonna say what I did was the best. All right, we're just about break even here. But you know, I am risking the 0.786 fib down there. I see the hourly RSI was coming down to a spot where we normally get bounces coming from, like literally right here. Okay, and if you ever see these, you know, horizontal lines down here, it's just because, hey, at one point the RSI got really oversold and I wanted to see, all right, looking back, did we bounce? And yeah, you gotta bounce. You gotta bounce. Okay, so that's the past 2 times the spot has been hit, which we did hit this spot. We came right down to it at the very bottom over there. You know, that is when we have really seen, yeah, buyers step back in. So I'm looking for at least a move back up here to 43254 right there. All right, somewhere in between there and over here. That is what I am looking for. There we go. All right, so I am going to try and speed up this video here. Let's get through it, okay? So QQQ, guys, on the downside, we're watching 491.19, and then we have the golden pocket starting at 491. If you break under 489.50, we probably are going to revisit 487.57, which was the low of last week. On the upside, get above 493.30. We're going to have this golden pocket. You're probably going to test it, but keep in mind, this is where you just broke down from, so expect sellers there. If you get above it, expect sellers in this golden pocket here. Get above 495.20, and we're probably revisiting 496.49, and then we're probably going to come back up here. Now, guys, don't brush the golden pocket off. The golden pocket is kind of, it's a great tool, okay? And, you know, if you don't use it, you're at least going to see me reference a lot here on the channel. So I guess you don't have to include it in your charts, but, you know, it really does have a really nice picture that it gives us pretty much constantly, all right? You want to talk about something, okay? First of all, you found buyers here at first test, second test, third test. So that is something right there. But what do you guys also want to see some magic? Okay, you want to see some magic? I got you. All right. Now, I didn't play this. I didn't want to get chopped up. I didn't want to risk this. But I will just point out. Okay. What happened, guys? You broke. I know it's really confusing right here. I know. We'll clean it up. You broke above 0.786 fib. All right. What happened next? You went to the 100% retracement. You want to see where you found sellers next. Spoiler alert, it was at the next 0.786 fib from this whole decline. From here down to here. Okay? You found sellers here in the golden pocket once. You found sellers a second time now. This is the use of the golden pocket. Use it. Like you don't have to use it, but it is something that will literally tell you. It's exactly what I just described. Expect sellers there. All right? So expect chop their consolidation, the opposing side to step in there. Like, you know, in this case, buyers, okay, if you're retracing a bullish move, buyers would be stepping in. But you expect sellers there in this case. And then if you get above it, which in this case was right around over here, you look for that 100% retracement. So if you get above it, you know not to short until you test that. I mean, you could do whatever you want. I'm just telling you how I see this work most of the time. You just closed out with this 15-minute candlestick. This likely is going to get some continuation. All right. You look on ES over here. Where are we bouncing back from, guys? Picture perfect spot. I told you, I picked the perfect time to record this video. All right. We have everything in a major confluence spot, and I'm loving it. Okay. 15-minute bullish divergence over here on ES. We're probably going to come back up here and retest over here at 5883. So that is what I'm going to be paying attention to. I'm not trading this one right now. I told you. All right. What we in. But hey, you're either going to find buyers here, which was likely. You had the 1 hour RSI oversold. You had 15-minute bullish divergence going on. You're either going to find buyers right here. You're going to come all the way down here to 5853. And that is where this next zone starts. All right. So far, things are looking pretty good. Probably going to get continuation at least up to 5883 over here on ES. I know you guys aren't here for futures. Let's resume with the video. Okay. So we went over QQQ. I just wanted to show the use case of that golden pocket there. Just know you get above 496.49, you're probably just going to start complete, running back up. You're probably taking out this high at 498.83, and then you can expect 5101 and 503.52. All right, so that's QQQ. IWM. I thought we'd get buyers stepping right around this 222.60 spot. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we'll see by the end of the day. You see this arrow? This arrow was drawn when price was up there. All right, so we're looking for this type of action in the weekly update. I hope you guys enjoy those weekly updates. They really will. They'll give you not a bias. They'll get you ready for the upcoming week every single week. There's no denying it. It gets you ready with trade ideas. It gets you ready with what to expect on the indices. It gets you ready with, how the big boys, every possible thing in the market that you could be watching, it's going to be in those videos. Just tune in every Saturday morning for the weekly updates. Okay. I record them early in the morning. So you guys have plenty of time to prepare for the week. All right. But right here, guys, you are, breaking, retesting this previous high over here. You just broke above that high. You're not retesting it. Hopefully we do get buyers stepping in by the end of the day and you get a decent lower wick here. And then we, find buyers continuing that move after that to the upside. That is what I'm looking for. If you don't get that, though, if you get this daily close under here and you don't gap up above it tomorrow, I want to say we're probably coming down here. All right. And then you get your next big buying opportunity over here on IWM. And guess what? That's going to be right around that weekly 9. So we very well could hit it. And it is going to act as a buying opportunity. Nothing has changed over here. It's just pulling back. All right. So that's IWM for you. Above 220.60, we have 224.94 and then 226.64. That is where we found sellers last time. All right. I think 230 plus is incoming after this pullback is done. So I am treating it as such and I will take advantage. All right, DIA, how are we looking over here on DIA, guys? You're also right here back at that daily 9. You had that little wedge action going on, flag action, boom, pull back to the daily 9. You found buyers. Well, now we're back at the daily 9 again, okay? So this is the second, test after this breakout. It doesn't have to hold it. Typically, we see the first test at least, give us a dead cat bounce. That's kind of what I go off of. But with how everything's looking, I think we're probably going to hold right there. If you don't hold right there, watch 426.20 on the downside and then top of the previous range we were in for a while, 422.78. VIX, we already talked about a little bit. We're expecting sellers right here off of that daily 9 EMA, which happens to align with that 1939 resistance. People say you can't do TA on the VIX. I say you're full of it. You definitely can do TA on the VIX. I think you just haven't back tested enough. And that's all I have to say. All right. So I'm looking for, VIX to sell from here. If you do get a daily close, that is what I was saying earlier in the video. It is, just a sign to exercise caution on the long side until we can see things get better. All right. So that is that. All right. So now we're going to talk about the big boys real quick. Apple's not looking bad at all. I was hoping we got the pullback. I was looking to take advantage of that. The only thing is we got big tech earnings right around the corner. So, premiums are definitely going to be juiced. But guys, this weekly chart is ready to go. The daily chart is ready to go. If you were to pull back into here, you get an uptrend test, you get a daily 9 test, and you get a break and retest. That is ideally what I was looking for. I got my alert right there at 232.92. But hey, above 237.24, guys, they already, showed, I told you, break out of this range, you probably are going to start to move up to 240 to 242 pretty quick. That's where that measured move would go. I think 240 to 250 is incoming over here on Apple. We just got to be patient on it. Microsoft, not the best looking chart. I'm not going to talk about it too much. You're dancing around the daily 9. There's really no edge over here when you are just looking at this chart. I'm not even talking about an edge for trading the chart. I'm talking about an edge for just knowing where this price is probably going to go. You have absolutely nothing to go off of over here. All right, the most I can point out, you're in a range. You're holding the golden pocket of that range, which is right here. All right, get above today's high. You probably start pushing back up here. That's the only thing I'm going to say over here on Microsoft. All right, on Goog, you are not looking good. We have, stayed saying that, yeah, all right, the structure is bullish, but we very well could see a move back down here, 160, 163, and then under there, 156.51. I'm still looking for that move. I'm waiting on it. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'll play the short-term momentum if it comes. Hopefully, we don't just get a big earnings gap up, and that's, the setup we've been watching for so long just plays out without us getting to play it. At least me. All right, you guys, I don't know if you guys like doing earnings or not. I don't like holding things into earnings. Meta, what do we got over here? What do we got? We'll put it back on. All right. Not looking the best. We talked about this break under 574.03. You're probably going to have a quick move down to 568.73. I was a pussy and sold like right off the open when I was like, oh, 30%. Oh, but yeah, it did end up going down to my first target. Well, just about. But I don't like being short-term expiration puts. I just hate it. It gives me anxiety every single freaking time. I don't know. I know we're in a bull market. I know things, I just like being on the long side. I've done a lot of my back testing, I guess we could say, on the long side. I've had a lot of my experience on the long side, short side. I remember in 2023, early 2023, no, late 2020. I don't remember when. I think it was late 2022. I got my face ripped off, or it was early 2023. I don't remember. Ever since then, I don't like shorting. I'm still going to say, guys, Meta probably is going to go lower from here. I don't know if you're going to get buyers stepping up. You got to reclaim this daily 9 for me to really, want to look at this chart bullishly right now. I do think we have a chance of just continuing this slide. Under 568.73, we have 562.35 and then 554.19 and then 542.81 if things get real crazy. I don't think we're going to get all the way down there, but, wouldn't people go nuts if it did? Yeah, and then we're gonna go nuts, but on a bullish side. Okay, we're gonna be like, oh, finally happening. There we go, and there you go. Till then, I don't want to touch this thing long. Okay, we know a big breakout came, but do you want to touch this thing? I would touch it long. Minimum, you got to test the weekly 9, but I really just want to see a retest. Which, since I'm looking at it, and most other people that are decent on charts are probably looking at it. That means algorithms are probably looking at it. They're probably not going to bring it down there. So that's Meta for you. Amazon, how we looking, guys, on the weekly chart? I still want to point out, it doesn't look so bad. You got the weekly 9 right under you. You are right on this uptrend right here. And I do want to say we have earnings right around the corner. It does look like you could spill over. So I took off the last of my Amazon today. I don't want to, experience that. And like I just said, you got earnings right around the corner. All right, premiums are going to be juiced, even though we have a decent setup over here on the long side. I'm just going to say it's not worth it. I experienced how premiums moved from coming here to here, and it was like nothing. Okay, it was like nothing. It was like a 25% gain, and I was pissed about it. I don't think it's worth playing Amazon right now unless you're planning on holding through earnings and taking that gamble. And that's just my opinion there. And everything I share on this channel is just my opinion. Keep that one in mind. Don't get it twisted. Oh, my baby. What are we doing, eh? What are we doing, eh? What are we doing, eh? There we go. All right, let's finish up this video, guys. All right, we went over all the FANG stocks. We're going to go over the chips. The chips are looking vulnerable, all right? And by the way, guys, if you do want to come trade futures and options with me every day, the link is down below for the Discord. There you go. All right, you're literally dancing right around that daily 9, and you rejected your supply zone. All right, you got back under, hit it with the break and retest. And I'm just going to say, this looks vulnerable. Chips as a whole look vulnerable. I pointed this out the other day on AMD, and I'm just going to say right now, the only one that I see that looks really good is NVIDIA. NVIDIA with the fresh breakout. NVIDIA just got over 140.76. Above there, we can run to 145 cycle level than 150. Things don't look too shabby. Okay, they don't look too shabby. All right, so you know, pull back to 130 would be an absolute gift. You'd have the weekly 9 right over there, but you know, in the meantime, this thing don't look too bad at all. All right, you're watching 136.15 in support under their big 130 psych level. AMD, this is the one that I think looks vulnerable. You could slide here. You know, you're at a pivot point. It's just like what I was saying over there. Buys at a pivot point. You're right there with, you know, confluence. I'm just going to say AMD is hanging on for dear life over here, and it can fall. It can bounce. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you do have this 1 hour bullish divergence. So let's see if this amounts to anything. We're probably going to come back up and get sellers up here around 158.08. And, you know, this is probably going to catch up with price around there. So 158.08 to 160. Expect sellers to start stepping back in. And we'll see, you know, how things are looking from there. But underneath 154.92, guys, I know, you know, you're hanging on for dear life. You get that bullish divergence on the hourly time frame there. I understand. This is kind of bullish, okay? You got a sweep of the low here. People probably got involved. You got this, suggesting you're probably going to be seeing a bounce, all right? And it's not, you know, the reason you're going to be seeing the bounce, okay? But it's something that we know through, you know, all of our charting that we've done over the years. That, yeah, we typically do see bounces off these things, all right? What happened at the bottom? You had a bullish divergence right there, okay? You can't see it crystal clear. Here you go, buddy. There you go. All right. Oh, what happened over here? You had another bullish divergence. I know it's pretty ugly, but, you know, they are there when you get these bounces. So it's something to keep in mind. All right, guys, so that's AMD. We're going to move over here to AVGO, and I'm going to point out you're still just in this range. I pointed out in the weekly update, I don't think there's much to do over here on AVGO until you come back and retest 172.42. I got the alert there, so let us know when it happens. But, you know, as of right now, there's really nothing to go off of. It's, you know, a similar stitch to Microsoft over there. You kind of just dance around this daily 9, and that is recipe for just consolidation and killing premiums, and I don't think, you know, there's nothing here. ARM, this is actually the setup. I threw this in the trade idea tab today. I said I didn't want to get long on chips, so I wasn't personally going to be taking it. But I like the idea because things were looking pretty good earlier in the day. The idea, it was to risk the low of the day. It was 150.33, and price was probably around right over here around 153. And you're, you know, looking for a move back up to 158.80 and then 164.16. Why is this ideal? Because if you were to take out that low of day, which I don't know how this daily candle is going to form. I was thinking we'd probably form with a doji or a hammer, but, you know, you create a new low of day over here. You're right at the daily 9. You have a break and retest level right over here. And you also have this uptrend. So, you know, it's kind of, again, a perfect confluence spot for either bulls to step in or they're going to die, and you're going to see sellers take this down to 132.80. So that was, you know, the idea behind the long trade right there. Again, I mean, I don't think it's worth exposing the chips right now. I actually did myself a favor, and I got out of this guy. And I'm just going to say this thing sucks, and it probably is going to go. It's probably going to go right when your boy gives up on it. Maybe some of you guys are experiencing the same emotions over there that just don't want that you don't want to sit in these things. Okay. Back over here to ARM, guys. I'm just going to say you hold this uptrend, or you are probably breaking under 147 and then 132.80. So if you break under 147, expect to move down to 132.80. If you hold here, we're still, you know, in bold territory over here. We are holding where you need to hold. MU, you have a similar uptrend right here. Like, a lot of these chips look very vulnerable, guys. I'm just saying, I don't think it's worth really, you know, expose yourself too much on the long side. That's just my opinion. Everything I share is my opinion. Don't ever listen to what I say. But right here, guys, uptrend, daily 9 test. If you break under, you're probably going to come down and take out 98.94. That's what I'm thinking here, okay? Maybe, you know, undercut this uptrend just for a day and swoop back up. But, you know, you break under 104.59, you're coming down to 98.94. And at that point, we're coming down and revisiting this golden pocket. All right? What a bummer. First daily close over there, it starts getting faded. Point is, guys, on this pullback, it is a buying opportunity because you did get that breakout from the double bottom. And I do want to remind you guys, all right, if you see this, buying opportunity for this, there you go. All right, SMCI, I just talked about that one a little bit. You're riding that 9 here. I'm just going to say it looks, you know, relatively vulnerable as well. I just see what the chips are doing, SMH is doing. I see no reason to be exposed to these things. And that's just my opinion. Okay, just my opinion. You could ride the video up if you'd like. The video is looking cool. But all of the other ones are looking like butt. So, and SMH, just the index for the chips. Why are you going to fade that thing? Like, go against it? You have no reason to. But holding the daily 9, get above 50, we're looking for 55 and then 60. Break under the daily 9, 4406 is incoming. And then we will have this. Underneath, we're probably coming back to this, little area we had going on over here. Put it just like that. All right, 4240. Bitcoin. All right, this was opportunity of the week over here is Bitcoin. We talked about this. If it pulls back to 66.5K, that was going to be your buying opportunity on these crypto stonks. Now I will say everything else is looking, they got bought up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did Bitcoin really even move? Little jerks, dude. I wanted CLSK to come down more. That's fine. This thing didn't even sell. It didn't even pull back with it. Guys, the big players are trying to front run Bitcoin's move with the miners. All right. Like real talk. They saw what I saw in advance and they didn't want to sell their stuff. They wanted to buy it. All right. You got a break and retest. You got a daily 9 test. And what do we have? A fresh bull flag breakout, guys. This thing's going crazy. It's going bananas after this pullback. They're not going to make it easy on you, but I'm telling you right now, the big players there, you could see they didn't sell with Bitcoin today at all, especially over here in CLSK. I think CLSK, since this one is one that doesn't have earnings until December, I think this is a primary focus right there. Mara's not looking too bad. I thought you were going to at least test that daily 9, but no, guys, this is what I'm saying. They're front running the move. All right. Bitcoin, guys, coming into the golden pocket. I think we can at least see a move up to 224 before a, decent sell there. But I'm also going to say, I don't think that decent sell really comes. I'm just saying that's, short-term target is going to be there. I was hoping you'd get this retest of at least the daily 9 or pull back to 192. But again, I mean, you got earnings right around the corner on Coin. You got earnings right around the corner on MSTR. You got earnings right in the corner on Mara. What do we have on CLSK? Nothing until December 18. I like it. Pull back. CLSK is my favorite one. All right. Above 1275, you got 15 schmeckles. All right. So now we'll just give an update on some ideas we gave this week, this weekend. All right. Undercut the 92.98 low. You're going to put in a daily bullish divergence right in the golden pocket. You will also have this uptrend right here that you could have potentially just, swept, and then you will get buyers step back in. And, regardless, I think we'll at least get a retest up here. I think we're at least going to get a bounce up and fill that gap at 93.86. But in the end, I am looking for a move to 95 plus. But, this is kind of the same thing we had going on over there. I'm not going to draw it out here, but this whole move, you found buyers in the golden pocket right here, not right at the 0.618 fib. We could come down to 91.47, but, I'm just saying this is where buyers want to start stepping in. If they're going to step in, it's going to be somewhere around here. TSM. I'm still saying, I didn't include it in the chips because it's over here. TSM, guys, I still think this is going to be the case. I do think we are going to be coming down and testing that trend line right there, that uptrend, the daily 9, and the 193.47 all-time high break and retest. This is a clear as day buying opportunity on this dip, and this is why I say chips look vulnerable, but on that dip, there is definitely opportunity. All right? All right, so that is what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know, things are pretty wonky right now, but I will definitely say we are at a clear as day pivot point, a, confluence area that we're going to see big moves happen. Okay. Like we're either seeing big moves to the upside. We're going to see this thing consolidate and then break down. That's what's going to happen. You either break down under here, you don't hold 580.73 and you see 580 get taken out. If you see 580 get taken out, guys, that's $2 below current price. That's your sign that things are probably about to go sideways for a little bit or down. Nothing to say about that one, all right? We could literally have this consolidation. That's why I say sideways, all right? You see it get taken out sideways until it gets reclaimed there, okay? Or down. It's one or the other. I'm, not a perma bull. I'm calling the shots both ways here. You either are going to bounce back from here or you're going to bust down under 580 and we're going to see, a decent correction or some sideways action there. And, both of those scenarios could just bring it down here to 574.71. So that's what I'm paying attention to. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I appreciate you guys. Go check out the Twitter. I am, going to be putting a lot of my effort into growing that Twitter. I'm going to bring it to 10K followers over there. So I will be posting every day over there, and every weekend, I guarantee I will put out a bunch of trade ideas and take some ticker requests so you guys can, you guys get your stuff charted as well. But, I will post my trade ideas as they come over there live on the Twitter, in real time. So, put on post notifications there and come join me over there. Link is down below. With that being said, appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.